Welcome back to Alchemy online class. Yesterday we discussed about the textual exercises of chapter number 1. Today we are going to discuss some more questions related to this chapter. But before that, just have a look on the next image and check the answers of yesterday's homework. First, we will start with answer in one word. The first question is, which energy is stored in the form of food in the leaves with the help of chlorophyll? The answer is solar energy. Second question is, which cells control the opening and closing of stomata? The answer is guard cells. Third question is, what is the mode of nutrition of algae? The answer is autotrophic. What does photo in photosynthesis refer to? Answer is light. Now we will discuss answer in short. The question is, what is the ultimate source of all the energy needs of our body? The answer is, food is the ultimate source of all the energy needs of our body. Although the sun is the ultimate source of energy for all the living beings, the energy requirement of our body is fulfilled by the food we take from the plants. The question is, why are manures and fertilizers added to the soil in a farm? The answer is, plants absorb mineral nutrients from the soil, so their amounts keep on declining in the soil. The fertilizers and manures are rich in nutrients like nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. These nutrients need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. So the manure and fertilizers are added to the soil in a farm. The question is, why do insectivorous plants feed on insects? The answer is, the insectivorous plants grow in the soil which is deficient in certain nutrients. These plants eat insects to fulfill their nutrient requirement. The question is, why is nitrogen fertilizer not added to the soil in which leguminous plants are grown? The answer is, nitrogen fertilizers are not added to the soil in which leguminous plants are grown because these plants contain nitrogen fixing bacteria called rhizobium in their root nodules. This rhizobium bacteria can fix the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into the soluble form. This soluble form nitrogen can be absorbed by the plants easily. That's why the nitrogen fertilizer is not added to the soil in which leguminous plants are grown. The question is, explain symbiotic relationship with an example. The answer is, in symbiotic relationship, two organisms live together and share nutrients and shelter. They are beneficial to each other. In the organisms like lichens, an alga and a fungus lives together. An alga is an autotroph while the fungus is a saprotroph. Now, an alga is chlorophyll containing partner which can synthesize food, and the fungus is providing shelter and minerals and water to the alga for preparing the food. This way, fungus is providing shelter to the alga and alga is providing food to the fungus. This is about the symbiotic relationship. Now we will discuss answer in detail. The question is, what is nutrition? Describe the two different modes of nutrition. The answer is, nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and utilization of it by its body. There are two different modes of nutrition, autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which the organisms can prepare their own food is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition. All the green plants and some organisms like algae can make their own food. They are showing the autotrophic mode of nutrition. While the mode of nutrition in which organisms cannot prepare their own food and dependent directly or indirectly on the plant for the need of food is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. For example, the organisms like fungus or all the animals are dependent on the plants for the need of food. They are showing the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The question is, what are the 4 requirements for photosynthesis to take place? Write down the chemical equation of photosynthesis. The answer is, the 4 requirements for photosynthesis to take place are carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. See the image for the chemical equation of photosynthesis. The question is, what are insectivorous plants? How do they feed on insects? Explain with an example. The answer is, plants that eat insects are called insectivorous plants. For example, pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, etc. We will understand how they feed on insects by the example of pitcher plant. A pitcher plant is a plant in which each leaf is modified into a pitcher. This pitcher is having a lid at the top which can open or close the mouth of the pitcher. When any insect lands on this pitcher, the lid closes and traps the insects inside the pitcher. There are hairs inside the pitcher which are directed downwards. The insect gets entangled in this hair and then it is digested by the digestive juices secreted by the pitcher. The question is, how do plants get nitrogen to synthesize proteins? The answer is, as you all know that nitrogen gas is present in abundance in the air. But plants cannot take this gaseous nitrogen directly. It requires the soluble form of nitrogen to absorb. There are 2 ways by which the plants can absorb the soluble form of nitrogen. In the first way, there are some bacteria in the soil which can convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the soluble form. This soluble form of nitrogen is absorbed by the plant along with water. As you all know that leguminous plants contain rhizobium bacteria in their root nodules, which can fix the atmospheric nitrogen and can convert it into the soluble form. Second method is, plants can get the nitrogen from the nitrogen-rich fertilizers which are added to the soil by the farmers. The question is, How would you test for presence of starch in the leaves? Just refer the next image for the answer. Now it's time for today's homework. I hope that all will be ready with the homework by tomorrow. We have completed the explanation and exercises of this chapter. If you are having any queries or doubts, you can refer to the videos from part 1 to part 7 of this chapter number 1. Tomorrow we will meet once again with the new chapter. Till then, keep learning.